Welcome back, students. Once again, we were reading in our last video, we were reading our chapter number 2, The Adventures of Toto by Ruskin Bond, a second chapter of Moments. We have read up to Toto's first ever trip to Saharanpur, and what happened in that trip with the grandfather. He was charged extra money, sum of money for carrying Toto in his bag. Now let's read what happens next in the story. The first paragraph, when Toto was finally accepted by the grandmother. So in this paragraph we'll find out that he was finally accepted by the grandmother and the family as a family member. He was given a comfortable home in the stable. Stable means where horses are kept, where he had for a companion the family donkey Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent clear cause, without any reason, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. So it was the first night of Toto in the stable, and grandfather was quite worried about his stay there because he knew that the monkey was very mischievous. He just paid a visit to him at during in the midnight to see whether he was comfortable or not. There in the stable he had a companion, the family donkey Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana. Means grandfather was surprised to see that Nana, the family donkey, was without any cause pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. Means it was keeping her head from far away from the bundle of hay, from the bundle of straw which was kept there for eating. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches. Grandfather could not understand why the donkey was trying to get away from the bundle of hay, why it was pulling at her halter, pulling at her leather belt, why it was pulling her leather belt and trying to keep his head away from the bundle of hay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches. Haunches means buttocks, and she she pulled back, dragging Toto with her. And as soon as the donkey dragged herself from there, it was seen that Toto was hanging with his long ears, with the sharp little teeth. With his sharp little teeth means the donkey's long ears were in the mouth of the monkey. The monkey was hanging with the long tears of the donkey with his sharp little teeth. Toto and Nana never became friends, and because Toto kept on troubling Nana in such manner that he would hang across his neck, he would just bite his long ears with his sharp teeth, they could not become good friends. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings. Okay, that's all. It was just his first night. How did he spend his first night in the stable, and why Nana and Toto couldn't become good friends? This is how up to here we have read it here. Now next paragraph is Toto's ritual of taking bath. It's very important paragraph, and from this paragraph you will come to know how clever, how intelligent the monkey was. It is the incident, Toto's ritual of taking bath, how he would take bath, how he would have a bath every day. The great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was the large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. Means during the cold winter evenings, because the setting of the story is in Dehradun, the author lived in Dehradun, and in Dehradun the winters are long, and very cold. So every day in the evening, grandmother would give him a large bowl of water, warm water, and Toto would take bath in it. See, let's see, find out. Let's find out how he would take a bath there. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand. Cunningly means very cleverly test the temperature, as we human beings test the temperature of the warm water before taking bath. He would also cleverly touch the water, and he would find out the temperature, whether it was very hot or cold. Then gradually means slowly step into the bath. Then he would just enter into the bathtub. First one foot, not all together. First he would just put one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing. Means he had copied this action from the narrator's way of taking bath. The narrator would also do the same thing. So the monkey was so clever that he had learned how to take bath in warm water by just looking at the author, until he was into the water up to his neck, until he would just get into the bathtub. He would just have a dip in the bathtub until he would have dipped himself up to the neck in the bowl. Once comfortable, come to the next page. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. Now, how he would rub the soap all over his body, like we human beings do it with his hands? He would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over, as we do. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. And when he feels that the water is becoming cold, he would very quickly run out of it, and he would go to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. And he would go to the kitchen fire to dry himself there very quickly, so that he could be saved from the cold outside. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, and if anyone in the family laughed at him, looking at him and seeing what he was doing, though he was a monkey, so everybody found it very funny, how he would take bath, how he would just run out of the bowl, and would go to the kitchen fire to dry himself up. So it looked quite funny, and no, every now and then anyone would laugh from the family on his performance. Toto's feelings would be hurt, as a little child would hurt why people are laughing at me. He would also feel hurt, and he would refuse to go on with his bath, and he would deny to take bath like a little child. One day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So his habit of taking bath every day, it would have proven a misadventure one day. Let's find out in the next paragraph how it would have proven very misadventurous. Misadventurous means a mishap for him, an accident for him. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. So one day, a large kitchen kettle was put on the fire for tea, and Toto, because nobody was there in the kitchen, so he was alone. He finding himself with nothing better to do. He found nothing to do. He was just hanging around idly. So he decided to remove the lid. He found the kitchen kettle on the fire and the water in it. He removed the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle, because the kettle was big enough. So he thought that the water was for his bath. He just get into the kettle. He just entered into the kettle, and he kept his head out of the kettle. This was just fine for a while, because the water was the gas stove was on, and it was constantly being heated up. So for a while it was okay, fine, until the water really got very hot. Uh, this was just for a while until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little. When he felt the raise in temperature of the water, he just raised himself a little. He would get up a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. But outside the kettle it was very cold, so he would just again sit in the kettle, and then would again had to get up because it was boiling at the bottom. He continued hoping. Hoping means jumping up and down, means up. When he felt very much heat at the bottom, he would just get up, and because outside was very cold, he would again sit down until grandmother arrived. He was just doing up and down, up and down, up and down, until grandmother finally, thank God, grandmother arrived and hauled him. Hauled him means dragged him, half boiled, out of the kettle. And fortunately, grandmother came to the kitchen to see whether the tea was ready or not. She found the monkey in the kettle, and she just took him away from the kettle, and he was just half boiled. So this was again a misadventure of Toto. If there is a part of brain, especially, I hope you are finding the chapter very interesting, students. See, here we have been going through the misadventures of Toto up to now. Different kinds of misadventures we have come across. Let's find out what was going to happen next. If there is a part of the brain especially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So if there is a part of brain especially devoted to mischief, and if God has really had developed a part of brain which is completely devoted, dedicated to mischief, means this part of brain would just think about mischiefs or naughtiness. That part was largely developed in Toto. One can say that Toto had that part very large in his mind. Which part? Which could make mischiefs. He was always tearing things. He would always tear the things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he would every time make a hole in her sari. So this is how he was troublesome for all the people in the home. One day at lunchtime, so Toto's never ending mischiefs. Once again, we are going to read some mischiefs of Toto. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. It was lunchtime, and the dining table was set up. It was decorated with many eatables, and there was a large, big dish of pulao. Dish means a plate, you can say, of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice, and then the family members entered to the room to have their lunch. What did they find? They found Toto stuffing him, filling himself with rice. He was eating rice. My grandmother screamed. She just shouted out on Toto, and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. And when one of my aunts just rushed forward, dashed forward, ran forward to catch the monkey and the dish of pulao from his hand, Toto threw a glass of water in her face. When grandmother arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through the window. And when the grandmother got near the monkey, he picked up the dish of pulao. He just held the dish of pulao in his hands and just ran away through the window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree, and we could see when we came out of the room, we could see the monkey was sitting in the branches of the jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. He was still having the dish of pulao in his hands. He remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And throughout the afternoon, he just kept on sitting in the branches of the tree, eating slowly and sluggishly, taking you can say the taste of pulao through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And it seemed as if he had taken an oath to finish every grain of the rice from the plate. And then, in order to upset my grandmother, who had screamed at him, who was shouting at him, he threw the dish down from the tree. And because grandmother was continuously shouting at the monkey, he also just wanted to upset her, and he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. And chatter means made short high pitched sounds as the monkey's neck with delight. He was very happy while throwing that dish down from the tree, when it broke into 100 pieces. As soon as he dropped the dish onto the floor, it broke into 100 pieces, and the monkey was very, very, very happy, and he just chattered with delight. Obviously, Toto was not the sort of pet, sort of means kind of pet, we could keep for long. So here in the last paragraph, we are going to read about grandfather's final decision about keeping Toto at home for a long time or not. Whether the family would keep the monkey for a long time in the house or not. Obviously, clearly, Toto was not a sort of pet. Not a sort of pet means not a kind of pet which we means the family members could keep for long. Why? Can you tell me the reason? Because he was a constant source because of which the family had to suffer losses. Even grandfather realized that, means grandfather understood that very well, because what he understood very well, that they could not keep the monkey for a long time at home. We were not well-to-do. Well-to-do means very, very rich. We were not very rich and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. And because we were not very wealthy people, we were not rich people, we could not afford the frequent loss of dishes every day. We could not afford, means it was a big loss for us to suffer the loss of dishes. When every day the monkey would break the dishes in the kitchen, he would tear the clothes, the curtains, and the wallpaper in the house. So we could not buy so many things every day, and no one can buy really cannot buy so many things every day. So grandfather found the Tonga driver. Grandfather found the same Tonga driver from whom he had brought the monkey, and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. Remember how much did he pay when he brought the monkey? The grandfather had paid 5 rupees to bring the monkey home, but now he again suffered a loss of 2 rupees, and he found the same Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. That's all. I hope you found the story very interesting. Okay, see, turnstile, you can see the gate in the parks generally, at the railway stations, at the bus stops. It was there at the railway station when the grandfather was at the turnstile to show his ticket to the ticket collector, and where he had to pay some extra money for Toto to the ticket collector. Okay. Now is think about it. How does Toto come to grandfather's private room? You will find the answer of this question in paragraph number 1. Grandfather bought him from the Tonga driver for 5 rupees. Okay, Toto was a pretty monkey. In what sense was Toto pretty? You will get the answer of this question in paragraph number 2. You will describe here Toto's face, his eyes, his pearly white teeth, his smile, his tail. On the top of all these, his tail, which added to his beauty, according to grandfather. So you'll get the answer of this question in paragraph number 2. Why does grandfather take Toto to Saharanpur and how? Why did grandfather take? Because it was still a secret. His presence was still a secret in the family. He hadn't told anyone about his presence. So Toto was very mischievous. He would not. Grandfather knew that he would not let any animal sleep in the zoo. So he had to take him to Saharanpur. And why does the ticket collector insist on calling Toto a dog? Because he was big in size and he might have wanted to charge some extra money from the grandfather. That's why he just kept on calling Toto a dog. How does Toto take a bath? This is the ritual of his bath. You can just go back to the video, and I had given the heading to a particular paragraph. The heading: Toto's ritual of bath. Where has he learned to do this? How does he take a bath? Like a human being, he would first touch the warmth of the water, and then he would gradually, slowly get into the ball, and then he would take a bath for a long time. And after having a bath, when he would realize that the water was getting cold, he would just come out of the ball, and he would just quickly run to the kitchen fire and he would dry himself up. So where has he learned to do this? He had learned doing this from the author. How does Toto almost boil himself alive? This is the second, again, the next paragraph, his misadventurous bath. When he saw a kettle boiling in the kitchen for tea, and he got into that kettle and he would have just burned himself up. You can have the details from that paragraph. I have mentioned I have mentioned there about that paragraph, the heading of that, how one day he almost boiled himself alive. So you can have the details from there. Okay, next, last question is, why does the author say Toto was not a sort of pet we could keep for long? Because the family was suffering constant loss of dishes, of curtains, of clothes, of what was it? Let's see, of wallpaper. So and the family was not very well-to-do family. They were not very rich, so they couldn't afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpapers. That's why they had to send him back to the Tonga driver. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you all have understood it quite well. Still have some queries? Just drop a message to me. Thank you very much.